Welcome to the Master Dealmakers Secrets Podcast. And now, here's sales growth strategist, John Blake.
Welcome to Master Dealmakers Secrets. I'm John Blake. This is episode 54. And today we are going to be talking about how you can find hidden money in your business. So, particularly relevant for what's happening in the market right now. And I think you'll find this episode very, very valuable. But before we do that, if you have got lead flow in your business and you are looking to convert more of those leads into sales, I've got a really particularly valuable resource for you that shows you how you can do that. So head over to johnblakeaudio.com and get your free audio training where I show you the exact strategy that you can use to double your sales with your existing leads. So they're the ones that haven't converted yet, the ones that you actually paid for. I think you'll find it particularly valuable. This is the same strategy that I start all of my high ticket clients on, my 12-month clients. It works really consistently. Once you've got it in place, it'll continue to work for you. So head over to johnblakeaudio.com and grab the audio training, but you'll also get the PDF guide that's got the exact templates. All you need to do is cut and paste them into your email campaigns. And what it'll also give you are the scripts on what to say when you leave a voicemail message, what to say when you get through to the person so that they don't feel like you're being uncool and stalkerish. And it also gives you when to email and when to call over an 8-week period. And what I've found is that you will dramatically increase your conversions just by staying in touch over an 8 to 12 week period. So head over to johnblakeaudio.com and download the audio, get the PDF guide, and get it working in your business straight away. Okay, finding hidden money in your business. So when I first began a discussion with a new potential client, the first place I look is for what I call leverage points. So these are parts of their sales process where there are opportunities to increase conversions. I call these holes in the bucket. So the typical leverage point is where I can help a client, find an area that they can tweak or just to put some focus on that area to tweak, and they can increase the conversion of their particular sales process. So an example of this would be conversion from lead to initial call, right? So a lead might come in, but there might be a finite number of times that lead is contacted by one of your reps. So often a lead will be contacted 2 or 3 times and then the rep will give up and they'll just move on to the next rep. So especially in businesses where you're getting lots and lots of leads, it's very easy for a rep who hasn't actually paid for the lead to just give up after 2 or 3 times. And that's a hole in the bucket because there is intent from that person, but we've just got to make sure that we stay in touch with them until we get a hold of them, right? So conversion from lead to initial phone call. Are we getting in contact with every single person that fills out a web form? Is a pretty good example of that. The second one is conversion from phone call to appointment. So there are people that we are talking to. How many of those people that we actually get a hold of on the phone convert into an initial appointment? And quite often what the language that's used and the questions that are asked in that initial phone call is crucial. I mean, one, because it is the first introduction that particular person has with your business. So we need to be very mindful of what that conversation sounds like, the questions that we ask, and we can often dramatically increase the conversion rate from that initial phone call to that first appointment. Next one is conversion from appointment to second appointment. So it might be from appointment to actual sale, or it could be appointment to second appointment, especially if there's a process where you've got to go away and put together some sort of a proposal or a fee outline or whatever. So that appointment to the second appointment, that is a leverage point. We can lift conversions there by looking at what actually goes on there. Looking at the choreography, looking at, whether we're going to them, whether they're coming to us, the questions that we ask, all sorts of, what are we emailing them or what are we sending them before that appointment? The next one is appointment from second appointment to ongoing client. So, this is, I guess, the business end of your sales process. So the conversion from lead and in this particular context, they've gone from first appointment to second appointment. And then how many convert from that appointment into a paying client? And then the next conversion is from that sale to an ongoing program. So, for example, if you are a landscape gardener and you have taken a phone call from somebody, how many of those? Firstly, how many of those calls? How many of those people were actually contacted? How many of those people converted from that initial phone call into an appointment? How many people converted from that first appointment into a second appointment? And how many people converted from that second appointment into an actual sale? And then in terms of your ongoing program, how many people converted from that actual sale into a maintenance client, right? So, there's all those leverage points, and if we can put some focus on them and we can tweak them, at the end of the year, that can add up to massive, massive amounts of sales. And I've literally seen this happen if we use the landscaping business client as an example, I've personally gone through and done that for actually 2 landscaping businesses, where we were able to find huge windfalls in their business with their existing lead flow just through putting some focus on their actual process. So most, if not all of these leverage points can be improved by examining the language, the context of each interaction, be it email or phone call, and it really is amazing at what changing, adding or deleting, one sentence or even one word can do to the conversions at any of these given leverage points. So, these shifts can increase top and bottom line revenue with absolutely no increase in fixed costs, with no increase in workload, meaning it becomes pure, unadulterated, additional profit in most businesses that we can do this for. So, but the interesting thing is that few companies ever really look at it. They get so busy and they get so inundated because of, they just want to shovel more coal into that lead generation machine, and they don't realize that there's so much of of that coal that's not even getting burnt. It's spilling out the side of the actual furnace. And it's a really, really massive opportunity, and often people aren't looking at it. So hidden money in these leverage points is like, it's like a build-up of plaque between your teeth. Only a dentist has the expertise and the tools to know where to look and how to clean it and properly fix it. So as an example, one of my clients sells a security system and has it's actually an insurance division. It's an insurance company that actually has a security systems division, and they get a lot of leads. So that, they are actually fairly well they're fairly well provided. They get lots and lots of leads, and often they have people that have been recently burgled, and those people are referred on naturally to the security division. And you'd think that if someone had been broken into, that having a conversation about security would be a pretty easy appointment to make. But it actually, in this particular situation, it actually wasn't the case. In fact, the conversions for these appointments was woeful. And essentially, the call sounded too opportunistic. It sounded, a little bit like, they were kind of being, an ambulance chaser. The client felt like they were being preyed upon, to buy a security system because they'd just been broken into. So we actually looked at the script and we changed one word and one sentence, which flipped the context entirely so that it sounded more like a call to see if they were okay after their ordeal, and offering to send somebody out to their property to offer some suggestions as how they could make the property more secure. And the shift brought the conversion rate from under 10% to over 80% call to appointment. That's massive. That is really a small hinge that swung a massive door, for that particular part of their process. So, it really can make a massive difference. So, what about you? What's your team saying to your clients that's shutting down sales conversations and damaging your conversions? and your ability to help more clients. And that example that I just gave you, most companies aren't even aware of what those numbers are. They're not looking at what is our conversion from initial call to appointment. So it's not until you actually start to look at the numbers that you'll actually see the areas and the leverage points that you can use. Case study number 2, a pest control company. So a pest control company that I deal with, I called and delayed a respray on my property about 2 years prior, and then I forgot to rebook. But guess what? No one called to reschedule, and I just forgot about it. So looking at the numbers, they lost about $300 in revenue per year because I didn't rebook and they didn't call to remind me. And that's, perhaps not that much. But if 25 people that they deal with do exactly the same as what I did, they put it off and forget to rebook, that's $7,500 per month. If 25 people are that's happening to per month, that's $75,000 in recurring revenue that they're missing out on. Times that by 12 and you've got $90,000 in lost revenue that could easily have been banked by making one telephone call to somebody who was already dealing with that particular company, and it would have been, an easy sale. So, have a look at the list above and see how you're tracking. Have a look at those areas that I talked about. Chances are you could be sitting on some hidden money that you didn't know about. So to recap, conversion from phone call to appointment, conversion from appointment to second appointment, that's if you do a second appointment, conversion from second appointment to ongoing client, or as I said, it could be a conversion from the first appointment to paying client, then conversion to your follow-up program or to your ongoing revenue, monthly, service program that you have in your business, if you have one of those. And then also the one that I didn't mention is conversion from lost or dead lead to email, telephone conversation. So those people that for whatever reason you don't get a hold of, from that initial lead inquiry, what are you doing with them? Again, a lot of people are sitting on these massive numbers of dead leads or leads that they weren't able to get a hold of to start off with on their database. And there's a massive opportunity there. So have a look at that, and I'm sure that you will find some gold, certainly some hidden money sitting in your database. Cheers.
You've been listening to Master Dealmaker's Secrets with John Blake. Subscribe to get more in-depth strategies to maximize your sales process with new episodes every week. And double your inquiry to sale conversion with the lead flow you already have. Go to johnblakeaudio.com for his exclusive free no-fluff audio training and companion PDF guide.